welcome to the third part of Lesson 2, and the discussion still focuses on connecting and communicating online. Okay, so most web pages includes multimedia, which refers to as any application that combines text with media. Media includes graphics, animation, audio, video, and or virtual reality. Okay, so many web pages use colorful graphics, of course, to convey messages as shown in the figure, wherein some websites use a thumbnail on their pages because the larger graphics can be time consuming to display. And of course, a thumbnail is a small version of a larger image. You can usually tap the or click a thumbnail to display the image in full size. Okay, and the most common graphics format in displaying the image on the web are your JPEG and your PNG format. Okay, so when say JPEG, pronounced as JPEG, is a compressed graphics format that attempts to reach a balance between image quality and the file size. While your PNG or PNG is a patent-free compressed graphics format that restores all image details when the file is viewed. Okay, and the web often uses infographics to present concepts, products, and news. And many forms of infographics exist, like maps, signs, and charts, as well as diagram. Okay, and of course, many web pages makes use of animations. Okay, for example, text that animates by scrolling across the screen can serve as a ticker to display stocks updates, news, sports, scores, weather, or other informations. And usually a web-based games often use animation. Okay, and you can also listen to audio clips and live audio. Other applications use streaming audio so that you can listen to the audio while it's being downloaded, or you can download while it's being downloaded, I should say. Okay, and of course, when you say audio file, these are compressed to reduce their file size. For example, the MP3 format reduces an audio file to about 1/10 of its original size, while preserving much of the original quality of the sound. Okay? And of course, a simple video applications on the web consist of individual video files, such as a movie or television clips that you must download completely before you can play them on a computer or a mobile device. Okay, a video file often are compressed because they are quite large in size, and of course, video posted on the web often are short in length, usually less than 10 minutes, because they can take too long when you download this video files. Okay. Also, using a special VR software where a developer created or creates an entire 3D environment that contains infinite space and depth of these things called the VR or virtual reality world. Okay. For example, you might want to show a house for sale where a potential buyer can walk through the room in a VR house by, of course, sliding their finger or a touch on the touch screens or a moving an input device forward, backward, or side to side, and so on and so forth. Okay, and of course, most browser have the capability of displaying basic multimedia elements on the web page. And of course, sometimes, however, as they say, a browser requires an additional program, and this is what we call plug-in, just to display the multimedia. Okay? For example, your browser may require you to have a what we call Adobe Reader to view the and print, of course, PDF files. You typically can download plugins at no cost from various websites. Okay, some plugins though run on all sizes of computers and as well as your mobile devices. Other have special versions for mobile devices also, and some mobile devices and browsers, however, do not support the plugins for some reason, or for this reason, the web designers are using newer technology to create websites that displays correctly in both desktop and or mobile browsers. And of course, these technologies generally do not require the use of plug-in to display media anymore. Okay? And as mentioned, the web is only one of the many services on the internet. Other internet services includes the following. Of course, you have your email list, internet messaging, chat rooms, online discussions or online forum, your VoIP or voice over IP, and your file transfer protocol. And of course, when we say email, as one of the original service or services on the internet, wherein, of course, enabling scientists and researchers working on the government-sponsored project to communicate with colleagues on or in the other locations. And of course, you use your email programs to create, send, receive, forward, store, print, and delete email messages. Okay? And in this illustration or this figure shows how an email message may travel from a sender to a receiver. Okay? So when you send an email message, an outgoing mail server determines how to route the message through the internet and then send the message. Okay? As you receive your email message or messages, an incoming mail server holds the messages in your inbox until you use or open your email programs to retrieve them. Okay? Most email programs have a mail notification alert that, of course, informs you via message or a sound when you receive a new email or message or messages. Okay? And of course, when you say email, it's important that we need also to talk about the email or mailing list. Okay? Or an electronic mailing list. When a message, I should say, is sent to an email list, each person on the list receive a copy of the message in their or his or her mailbox. And when you subscribe to an email list by adding, of course, your email address to the mailing list, which stored in the list server. And of course, if you don't like to receive, you just simply remove your name, or we would say you unsubscribe from the mailing list. Okay? And of course, other internet services that are at hand are of course your instant or internet messaging or IM services, of which often occurs on a real time. This is a communication service that notify you when one or more of your established contacts are online, and then allows you to exchange messages or file or join a private chat room with them, or as shown in the illustration, you can of course decipher how an instant or internet messaging works. Okay, so when we say real time, this means that you and the other people with whom you are conversing, which are online at the same time, some internet messaging services support video and of course video conversations. Further, allows you to send photos and other documents to the recipient. You can also listen to streaming music and at the same time play games with others that are in your contact. Okay? What else? This is another internet service which anyone in the chat room can participate in the conversation, which is usually is specific to a particular topic. Okay? And of course, businesses sometimes use chat rooms to communicate with their customers. As you type on the keyboard, others connected to the same chat room or chat room servers also see what you have typed as being shown in the illustration. Okay? What else? Now, as mentioned previously, this is another internet services. Okay? To participate in a discussion, a user can post a message called an article, and the others or other user will be able to read and be able to reply on the posted messages or posted article. Okay? And that will create a thread. When we say thread or thread discussion, this consists of the original article and all the subsequent related reply to the article. That makes a thread. Okay? And of course, some discussion forums requires that you enter a username and password too. Of course, before you can participate in the discussion. Okay? For example, an online discussion for student taking a college course may require a username and password to access the discussion. Okay? So, what else? For this voice over IP or we say VoIP, that uses the internet instead of a public switch telephone network. Okay, to connect to a calling party to one or more local or long distance called party. Okay, to place, of course, an internet phone call, you may need a broadband internet connection. Of course, a microphone and a speaker, or both of which are included with a standard computer or a mobile device. And of course, your VoIP software, example of which is your Skype, for those who are familiar with Skype. And of course, some VoIP services requires that you purchase a separate phone and a VoIP router, and of course, to subscribe in their services. Okay? And of course, other internet services that was mentioned or is being mentioned is, of course, when you upload and of course download a file. When we say uploading, is the process of transferring files from your computer or your mobile device to the server or to the internet. Okay? We can recall that downloading also is the process of transferring files from the server on the internet to your computer or to your mobile device. Okay? Moreover, when we speak of an FTP site, this is a collection of files that resides on an FTP server. And many FTP sites have we say anonymous FTP, whereby anyone can transfer some files, or if not at all available files, you can transfer, you can download, you can upload these files. Okay, and some FTP sites also has restriction. Okay, FTP sites restricts the file transfer to those who have authorized accounts or username and password on the FTP server only. Net etiquette, which in short for internet etiquette, this is the code of acceptable behavior where users should follow while on the internet. That is, it is the conduct expected of individual while you are online. Okay, etiquette includes rules for all aspects of the internet, including the web, social media, internet messaging, chat rooms, online discussion, and of course your file transfer protocol. And just to consider the golden rule: treat others as you would like them to treat you. Okay, and to sum it up, this module presented the evolutions of internet along with various ways to connect to the internet, and how data travels the internet, and how the internet works with domain names and IP addresses. It also discusses the web and length, including topics such as browsing, navigating, web addresses, web applications and mobile applications, searching, and of course your online social network. It also presented various types of websites and media on the web. It also introduces other services available on the internet, such as your email list, internet messaging, your chat rooms, online discussions, VoIP and FTP, and of course, finally, your net etiquette. Okay, so I think that's the end of lesson 2. I need to see you in the next discussion to come.